Hey, welcome back to another episode of Hubert's Hot Rods and Fabrication. Today, we are going to continue working on this tail pan. I need to get those extensions put on. I'm going to do that off of camera, get those fit, and then we'll go from there. So, let's get after it. All right, we've got the extensions tacked on and we've got it all clamped into place and everything is looking okay. We're lined up with the bottom of the fenders pretty decent, but the fenders and everything is still kind of like sprawled out. So it feels like this whole back end is still crushed in and everything needs to come up and out. But I went ahead and fit this inner tail panel, this what they're calling a tool tray, here, shoved that in there just to get a better idea of what that's going to look like. And those two pieces fit together pretty decent. But like I said, it feels like everything's still kind of smushed in and I just need to make some more adjustments. So now that I have the tabs where I can actually clamp and adjust this and not have this little bit of sheet metal, just this little bit of sheet metal, now I've got a bunch of sheet metal and I can adjust it and make it fit the way that I want it to. So that is my next step. Before cutting the seam in here, I need to make this panel fit. I need to make all these panels fit better. So that's what I'm going to work on next. All right, I've got everything blown back apart and I'm trying to fit this inner tool tray, the inner tail panel, as we're gonna call it both, okay? It is both. So it's got to sit up against here. I went ahead and cut the heads off of the bolts on the body mounts. I'm trying to get this to lay down on top of the frame as close as possible to where I'm going to actually have the body mounts. But I need to get this structure established before I move on to the outer tail panel. Otherwise, I'm just kind of fighting everything. Too many moving pieces. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm working on now. I went ahead and cut another 3 inches off of the bottoms of these quarter panels. They were getting in the way of fitting everything. So I went ahead and lopped those off. And I'm in the process of fitting this inner tail pan back on now, as soon as I get this bolt out. So that's where I'm at. I wanted to get a little bit of a recording of this because it is a pain in the butt, but it's going to be kind of like a jumping in and out. What sucks is you got to build everything, put it together, double fit everything, check it, take it all back apart, kind of moving back and forth. That's why I'm not recording this whole process, because it is going to get stupid boring. All right, here's where I'm at. This is fitting in. This is down on the chassis now. It isn't can't come down any further. There's going to be some shifting from side to side that's still going to have to happen, but we'll center that when I get it where I need it to be. But that's what I'm fitting right now. Okay, let's get you caught up a little bit. As you've seen, I went ahead in the time lapse and I put some bracing in here. Give this a little bit more rigidity. This is flopping all over the place. There's no floor structure or anything, no body mounts back here, so everything's just kind of moving around. Okay, backing up. I went ahead and fit the inner tail pan. Found a center mark on the inner tail pan, installed it, and got it sitting nice and flat on the frame. And I've got room to move this and center it. So now I want to get it on the frame, centered, and get a couple clecos in here. So that's what I'm going to do next. But I want to make sure that it's actually on the frame, because I want it on the frame and then I'll build body mounts and everything from there. I want it as close as possible, and then I'll put body mounts and then shims if I need to shim it. So that's where I'm going to start. Okay, just making sure that there's enough material under there. Shift this over, align my sides, align my center line. Stick my first cleco in there. Okay, nice and aligned. It's a tool tray, let's try to use it. I know, I'm a dork. All right. Okay, cleat code in. These are temporary fasteners. We're not going to get crazy, but now at least this tray is where we need it to be center wise. So we have a reference point. We can take this in and out, and this will act like miniature tack welds. So now let's just take a look at the underside. All right, yeah, the underside is exactly where we want it to be. Once we get the sheet metal clamped together, then I'll figure out then I'll scribe the frame holes into this sheet metal, and that'll give me where my body mount holes are gonna be. But for now, I'm gonna hold off, and we are gonna put on the outer sheet metal and get that fit. Just real quick. Just real quick. Yeah. All right, everything came right back together. That's good news. Okay. Still not fitting really well with the fenders. As you can see. Okay. That is what I've got to start to adjust and work on, is getting that to fit better. The next step is to be able to cut this out so I can get the deck lid back in here. Can't do that with these clamps in the way. And I don't want to just throw Cleco holes in here, because that ain't going to make any sense either. This has got to come out. These have to get cut in order to fit the deck lid. So that's what I'm going to work on next, is getting this adjusted and see what has to happen to get the outer fitting better now that the inners fit. As you've seen, we had the tail pan off and on a couple times there, trying to rework some of these seams. I'm trying to get the tail pan to fit down better, get these transitions between the rear quarter and the fender fitting better. That's what I'm going to work on off of camera, getting both sides fit better. The fenders still need a lot of work, so we still have work that needs to happen on that in future videos. But here's a good time for me to stop. Thank you guys for watching. Tell your friends about me, like I always say. So like, subscribe, and share these videos. I really appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next one.